let's start the topic tuning for PID controllers. We know the transfer function of the PID controllers. For example, the transfer function of a PID controller E of s by E of s equals Kp plus Ki by s plus Kd by s. That's the general transfer function of a PID controller. It's possible to change the value of these constants Kp, Ki and Kd. We need to improve the steady state or transient response of the system. If we need to improve the steady state response of the system, we can change the value of Ki. Need to improve the transient performance of the system, we can change the value of Kd. Okay, so we are changing the values of Kp, Ki and Kd and achieving the desired performance. If you are changing the values of Kp, Ki and Kd, we can achieve the desired performance. The changing the value and achieving the specified performance, and that method is called tuning. PID controllers are used in more than 95% of the closed loop industrial processes. Okay, so the general transfer function is Kp plus Ki by s plus Kd into s. If we need to improve a steady state performance, we can change the value of Ki and making Kp and Kd constant. If we want to improve the transient response of the system, we are keeping Kp and Ki as constant and change the value of Kd. And if we are changing the values and achieving the desired performance, and that method is called tuning. That is adjusting the values and achieving the specified performance, and that method is called tuning. Here check, the transfer function can be also written as the general transfer function is Kp plus Ki by s plus Kd. Here we are taking this Kp as constant. Okay, by taking Kp from all the equation, then the equation becomes Kp into 1 plus Ki by Kp into 1 by s plus Kd by Kp into s. Okay, here we are rewriting this Ki by Kp. Ki by Kp as 1 by Ti and Kd by Kp as Td. Okay, this is the another form of representation of transfer function. The transfer function can be also represented as Kp into 1 plus 1 by Ti into s plus Td into s. That is the integral term, that is Ti, integral time constant, and it is the differential time constant Td. Okay, the equation is Kp plus Kp into 1 plus 1 by Tis plus Td into s. We need to know both the form of equations. The first form is Kp plus Ki into 1 by s plus Kd into s, or another way it can be represented as Kp into 1 plus 1 by Ti into s plus Td into s. Okay, so in the tuning method, we are going to change the values of this constants Kp, Ki and Kd. Next, typical steps for designing a PID controller. The first is determine what characteristics of the system need to be improved. Okay, first we need to check which characteristics we need to improve. And for decreasing the rise time, use Kp. Changing the value of Kp used for decreasing the rise time, and use Kd to reduce the overshoot and settling time. That is, by reducing the overshoot and settling time, the transient response of the system will improve. And use Ki to eliminate the steady state error. Okay, Ki is used to eliminate the steady state error. By reducing the steady state error, steady state performance of the system can be improved. Okay, these are the three ways to improve the response of the system. Okay, decrease Kp to decrease the rise time, Kd to reduce overshoot and settling time, and Ki to eliminate the steady state error. In this module, we are going to discuss with Ziegler-Nichols tuning method. Okay, our tuning method is Ziegler-Nichols tuning method. Here we are going to discuss with Ziegler-Nichols tuning method. This method is called Ziegler-Nichols because the method is introduced by the person Ziegler and Nichols. The Ziegler and Nichols conducted numerous experiments and proposed rules for determining the value of Kp, Ki and Kd based on the transient step response of the system. Okay, they do a number of experiments and finally proposed the way to choose Kp, Ki and Kd. There are mainly two methods, Ziegler-Nichols first tuning method and Ziegler-Nichols second tuning method. First we are going to discuss with Ziegler-Nichols first tuning methods. In the case of first tuning method, the major limitation of this first tuning method is that in here there is not possible to have any integrators or dominant complex conjugate poles. Okay, it applies to the plant with neither integrators nor dominant closed complex conjugate poles. Okay, this method is applicable only for the system with neither integrators nor dominant complex conjugate poles whose unit step response resembles an S-shaped curve with no overshoot, and the S-shaped curve is called reaction curve. Okay, we say that in the case of first method, it is not possible to have any integrators or complex conjugate poles and the input be unit step response and the curve resembles like a S-shaped curve with no overshoot, and that S-shaped curve is called reaction curve. Okay, consider the Ziegler-Nichols first tuning method. S-shaped step input response curve. We are giving a step input and the system consists of neither integrators and complex conjugate poles. Okay, then the output be like this. The output is like a S-shaped curve without any overshoot. So the curve will be like that. Next we are going to draw a tangent at the inflection point. That inflection point is the changing point. The inflection point means that this point, that is the change from one state to another is occurs at this point, and that point is called inflection point. At the inflection point we are drawing a tangent line and the inflection line joins at the x-axis and the steady state gain line. Okay, this S-shaped curve and this tangent touches at both the x-axis and the steady state level line. Okay, from the origin to the x-axis point. Okay, to the origin to the x-axis point where the tangent touch is called L. We taking that distance be L from the origin to the point where the tangent line meets at the x-axis is the delay time L, and from the x-axis point to the steady state level point, extend that steady state point to the x-axis and measure the distance from this x-axis point to the steady state line on the x-axis. That point is called time constant T. Okay, we have the delay L and the time constant T. The delay is measured from the origin to the x-axis. Tangent meets at the x-axis, that is the L. That L is called the delay, and the difference from this x-axis to the steady state level gain and extend that point to x-axis. The difference from that point, the meeting point from the x-axis to the steady state point is called the time constant T. It is written that the shaped curve can be characterized by two constant, delay time L and time constant T, which are determined by drawing a tangent line at the inflection point of the curve and finding the intersections of the tangent line with the time axis and steady state level line. This is a steady state level line, and we are finding the delay L and time constant T. Okay, delay time L and time constant T. Next we are discussing a table. This is a type of controller, that is P, PI and PID. The constants are KP, TI and TD. Okay, the transfer function of a PID controller is KP plus KI by S plus KD into S, or KP into 1 plus 1 by TI into S plus TD into S. Okay. In the case of P controller, we have Kp is T by L, Ti is infinity and Td equal to 0. Okay. If the general equation is Kp into 1 plus 1 by Ti into S plus Td into S. If we are considering a P controller, in the case of P controller, we need to adjust only the value of Kp. Okay. This Ti is infinity and Td equal to 0. Okay. Therefore, it has only the effect of Kp. This is the general equation of transfer function of a PID controller, that is Kp plus 1 by Ti into S plus Td into S. In the case of P controller, the equation consists of only the first term, that is Kp only. In the case of P controller, we need to adjust only the value of Kp. So, and the value of Kp is T by L. Okay, in the examination we have a curve and find the T and L from the curve and then substitute the value here. So, we got the P controller. Next one is PI controller. In the case of PI controller, the value of Kp is 0.9 into T by L and Ti value is L by 0.3. Okay, so in the case of PI controller, the equation is Kp into 1 plus 1 by Ti into S, where Kp equals 0.9 into T by L. The value of T and L get from the reaction curve, and Ti is equal to L by 0.3. Okay, and substitute the value and find the transfer function. That is a method for finding the PI controller. Next one is PID controller. In the case of PID controller, we need to change the value of Kp, Ki and Td, Kd, or Kp, Ti and Td. Okay, that is here Kp equals 1.2 into T by L and Ti is 2 into L and Td is 0.5 into L. Okay, and substitute the values of Kp, Ti and Td and find the transfer function. Okay, our aim is to design a PID controller for a specified T and L. Okay, this T and L can be find out from the reaction curve and substitute the values of T and curve for different values of Kp, Ti and Td and find the transfer function. Okay, if there is a P controller, the equation, the transfer function is Kp. If it is a PI controller, the equation is Kp plus 1 by Ti into S. If it is a PID controller, the equation is Kp plus 1 by Ti into S plus Td into S. Okay. So, in the case of P controller, we need to adjust only the value of Kp. In the case of PI controller, we need to adjust the values of both Kp and Ti. And the case of PID controller, we need to adjust both the values of Kp, Ti and Td. So, we know that the first method has some disadvantages, that is the input must be step and also the system consists of neither integrators and complex dominant poles. Okay, so the first method is applicable only for a system with these conditions. Okay, without integrator and dominant conjugate poles. Okay, so next we move to the second method. The second method is applicable for all the systems. In the second method, started with closed loop system with a proportional controller. Okay, the first step is we have the plant and we are making this plant as closed loop, and first we are changing the Kp. First we are changing the Kp. Begin with a low value of gain Kp. Potential of this method to go unstable or cause damage. Okay, by using this method, the system may get damaged or become unstable. So first we are doing a low value of Kp. Setting a low value of Kp is the first step. So next way is, first we make a low or zero value of gain Kp. First we are making the value of Kp is low or zero. Increase until a steady state oscillations occurs, not this gain as Kcr. Okay. By increasing the value of Kp, we are making the system with steady state oscillation. The oscillations of the system be steady. That is a sustained oscillation with a period PCR. We are making a sustained oscillations in the system by increasing the value of Kp. That is the method. The second method, we are making a low value of Kp first, then by increasing the value of Kp, we are making a steady state oscillations in the system. That is making sustained oscillations in the system. By making the sustained oscillations, we can find the critical value Kcr. Kcr is the gain at the critical condition. Such or K with sustained oscillations, or maximum value of K for the system to be stable. By making the sustained oscillations in the system, we can find PCR and Kcr. PCR is the sustained oscillation period and Kcr is the maximum value of K for the system to be stable. Okay, that can be found out by making the system in the sustained oscillation mode. By using the values of both PCR and Kcr, we are preparing the chart of PID controller. Okay, estimation chart of PID controller. First we are discussing with P controller. In the case of P controller, the transfer function is Kp. Okay, this Ti is infinity and Td equal to 0 and the value of Kp is 0.5 Kcr. Okay, in the case of PID controller, we need to tune both Kp and Ti and Td equal to 0 and the value of Kp is 0.45 Kcr and Ti is 1 by 1.2 PCR. Okay, next one is PID controller. In the case of PID controller, we need to tune both Kp, Ti and Td. And this Kp is 0.6 Kcr, Ti is 0.5 PCR and Td is 0.125 PCR. So, for tuning a system by using Ziegler-Nichols second method, we need to find both PCR and Kcr. How can we find this PCR and Kcr? We know that, consider the root locus of the system. We know that the root locus in the left half of LHS is stable, and when we are crossing this imaginary axis and moving to the right side, then the system becomes unstable. Okay, at this point the system is marginally stable. Okay, or the locus which cut the imaginary axis is a point where sustained oscillations occurs. Okay, the point at which sustained oscillations occurs can be find out by using the method. First write the characteristic equation of the given system and substitute S is equal to J omega and equate the real and imaginary part. We can find the value of K and omega. Okay, the method for finding K and omega is, first write the characteristic equation of the given system and substitute S is equal to J omega. Then equate the real and imaginary part to 0 and find the value of K and omega. Okay, this value of K is called Kcr and that value of omega is called omega Cr. K critical and omega critical. Okay, when the root locus crosses the imaginary axis, sustained oscillations will occur. And that value of K is the maximum value of K for system to be stable, and that frequency is called frequency of sustained oscillations. Okay, that values are Kcr and omega Cr. Then By equating the real and imaginary part, we get KCR and omega CR. But we need to find the values of KCR and PCR. How can we find PCR? At omega equal to 2 pi f, angular frequency omega equal to 2 pi f. That is equal to 2 pi by PCR. That is f equals 1 by t. That is t is the time period. That is 1 by t. This t is called PCR. This time period is the P. Here time t is represented as P. Okay. So 2 pi by PCR. 2 pi f omega equal to 2 pi f. It also 2 pi by PCR. Therefore PCR equals 2 pi by omega CR. Okay. The PCR can be found out by using the equation 2 pi by omega CR. Okay. So the method for finding KCR and omega CR from the equation is first write the closed loop transfer function and substitute S is equal to j omega. By equating the real and imaginary part, we got KCR and omega CR respectively, and PCR can be found out by using the equation PCR equal to 2 pi by omega CR. Okay. For doing the problem, we need to study both the tables. Okay. For doing the second method, we need to study this estimation chart, and for doing the problem using first method, we need to study this chart. Okay, the first chart we need to know the value of T and L for designing PPI and PID controller, and by tuning using second method we need to know the values of PCR and KCR and design P, PI and PID controllers. Okay, so depending upon the question, we need to design by using second method or first method. And the summary is that use Kp to decrease the rise time, and use Kd to reduce the overshoot and settling time, and use Ki to eliminate the steady state error. And by using Ziegler-Nichols tuning rule using reaction curve for good initial estimate of parameters for finding the initial state. For initial state, we need to find the value of Kp, Ki and Kd. Just use the reaction curve, or we can directly use the second method for designing PID controller. So for designing Ziegler-Nichols tuning method, Ziegler-Nichols first tuning method, by heart this table using T and L. T is the delay time and L is the T is the time constant and L is the delay time for the designing of P, PI and PID controller using Ziegler-Nichols first tuning method. And for the second tuning method, first find KCR and PCR, that sustained oscillations upward point, and then design P and PI and PID controller, and for the designing by heart this estimation chart of second method. Okay, so summary is that Kp is used for reducing the rise time of the system, and Kd is used for improving the transient response of the system, and Ki is used for improving the steady state response of the system. Okay, that's all about the topic Ziegler-Nichols tuning method.